I'm Willie Diamonds. Clint.
Lyle.
I'm Nick.
Jason.
Sing Talk Play. This is episode 9, and we are in studio with Edmonton's own Shout Out Out Out.
One more.
Out.
Yeah.
And well, basically, they are a electro dance punk outfit. Also, they're a traveling electronics store and a NASA launch site, I believe. Right, guys? Yeah.
Some of those things, maybe.
Because you guys got an insane amount of gear, and we had to deal with them today, and it was a pleasure. It really was. It was really cool to see your setup. Is it that intricate every single time?
Yeah,
Yep, for sure.
It definitely is, and it has been for a long time. And I'd be lying if I said it wasn't kind of a logistic nightmare, especially when we're touring. If we have to fly somewhere, anything like that, getting all the gear to the show is it's the complicated part, and also often an expensive part of getting
and
around.
the most boring part.
But at the same time, I would say that one of the reasons why the band exists is because we like playing with these instruments. So we're not really willing to compromise that we're not going to go and set up with a laptop instead. With the whole point is to have all these cool instruments.
You guys come from a very different background, and then worked your way into this, and now are very well established as an electro.
Well,
dance
thanks.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's true. I'm not, I don't care. I don't know you guys. I don't want you to like me. I'm just saying, it's what I read.
All right, yeah. Yeah. And I think that part of it was really just trying to step outside of our comfort zone of playing in just straight rock bands, just to see if we could do it, and just for fun, and to stay interested. And I don't think any of us really expected it to grow to the point where it did, where we have become more established and people know the band and stuff like that. really at first kind of learning the technology, playing with synths and
kind of adding
and-
synths and parts more for fun or to be over like a little over the top and crazy, whereas now it's more refined to every piece of gear has a actual important role in the songs and stuff like that. We used to make giant walls of amplifiers and stuff like that at the beginning and stuff, and it was a spectacle and stuff, but it's kind of sounding like a jambly mess. But yeah, as we go, we added and removed parts, and it's got the mix right now.
As we've gone along, we've gotten more comfortable with all the gear too and what we want to use it for. At the same time, our tastes in electronic music have grown a lot, and I think early on, we're listening to some stuff, but I think it's now way more so. We're pretty involved in that. Your
stage shows are the thing that set you guys apart, and a lot of people talk about. You guys have done some really interesting things on stage, and a lot of it seems a bit over the top in a great way.
It wasn't necessarily a thought out plan, but when we added as many members as we did, and starting off with the idea of like 2 drummers, and we would like almost all of us play bass in songs and stuff like that too. So that was kind of like a ridiculous element of like, all right, let's just add more and more and more. And the idea was addition, not subtraction, you know what I mean? And so it naturally made kind of a kooky show. And then also us really loving what we're doing, and a live venue. There's lots to look at, 6 dudes having fun, that kind of thing.
It was inherently over the top from the get-go, I guess. You couldn't really help it. It's one thing that made it, I think, easy for us going from playing in rock and punk bands going into playing dance music is that it's a really similar sort of connection between yourself and an audience, where the whole point, if you're playing dance music, I mean, it's in the name, like people are gonna dance. And so it's pretty easy to get on stage and do a show that is fun to do when you have the involvement of everybody in it. That's the whole point. It's a nice position to be in.
Well, you guys are like 2 steps away from being robots. I don't know if you know this. So what's in the future? How are you?
MIDI implants in the arms and brains, the back of the neck, so we can get our.
That'll help with the gear.
Yeah,
carrying the gear around.
Exactly.
If it was all just a part of your body, it would be.
Yeah, and I'm sick of like standing up and holding things. So if I could lie down on a bed and have things plugged into me instead, and then think my music out, be cool. That's what we're going for. But in seriousness,
no, that's for real. I think that's a fine answer.
That's cool.
In terms of expanding, or expanding what we're doing in terms of gear and stuff, I don't think I can afford to buy anything ever again. Now, over a year ago, one of the things that we did that was really exciting for us was go to the National Music Center here in Calgary, and we recorded a new EP written entirely and recorded entirely using their collection of really rare and exceptional instruments, old synthesizers and mellotrons and really cool equipment. So we wrote and recorded an EP there that we kind of threw a whole lot of stuff at the wall to see what stuck. And
like we had to hear like how everything sounded, right? So like we're recording almost every synth we could and sampling all the drum machines.
And so
amazing.
It was amazing. It was a completely amazing experience. But the one side of that is that we're still figuring out what happened and cleaning it up and getting it ready. But our hope is to release that in April of this year.
Not too many Calgarians even know that they have this incredible resource, this museum of electronic instruments in their own city. And to be able to, and it's not just a museum, it's a collection. Everything functions, and they encourage people to come use it. So to be able to step in and have your pick is quite a treat, I imagine, for people who are into electronic music.
Unreal.
Yeah.
It was absolutely unreal.
You'd sit down with one synth and you'd be like, this thing is amazing. Like, I can't get over it. And you'd be figuring out all sorts of cool stuff with it. And then you're like, okay, I got to try something else. And then that thing would take over your soul for a while. And you just, this candy store deluxe was so amazing.